Are you itching to get your seeds started, but it's too early and far too cold? Well, instead of fighting against nature, let nature work for you. Today, we'll talk through the process of winter sowing, and we'll go step by step through how you can start next year's garden today. Winter sowing is a method of starting seeds in the middle of winter using simple containers like a gallon jug or a clear bin. These containers act as mini greenhouses, which protect the seeds while also getting them a chance to get some exposure to things like cold, moisture, and sunlight. Why does winter sowing work? Well, a lot of seeds, especially things like hardy annual flowers, perennials, and even a lot of your cool season veg are actually programmed to go through winter before they sprout. Think about it. In the wild, during the late summer after plants have flowered, their seeds fall to the ground. And then they're covered by fallen leaves and other organic matter, and they enter into a period of dormancy, which helps protect them from sprouting during really cold conditions. And then once spring arrives, they break dormancy and germinate. And winter sowing actually recreates this process in a more controlled way that protects the seeds from wildlife and too harsh of weather conditions. There's also no need for seedling trays and cells, grow lights, or extra growing space indoors. You also don't have to harden off your seedlings because they've already acclimated to the outdoors, which means your growing season is going to start sooner. Now, not every seed is a good candidate for winter sowing, so choosing the right ones is super important. The seeds that respond best to winter sowing are things like hardy annuals, perennials, and cool season veg. So think about it as stuff like rudbeckia, milkweed, broccoli, or arugula. Seeds that require cold stratification are particularly well suited, but a lot of seeds actually do really great with this method. Some key phrases that you'll want to be on the lookout for as you decide which seeds are best for you to do winter sowing with are going to be phrases like reseeding, self-sowing, hardy, or requires cold stratification. Look at seed packets or consult your favorite catalogs. Many of those have guidance on germination requirements. Now, a quick note. Save your tender annuals like your zinnias and your nasturtium and your summer crops like tomatoes and peppers for either indoor seed starting or direct sowing closer to last frost. These plants are not cold hardy, so they're unlikely to survive most early spring temperatures, so save those for the warmer weather. Timing depends on your climate, but it's called winter sowing for a reason, so plan to winter sow your seeds that require cold stratification anywhere from mid to late winter so they can get the amount of cold that they need in order to break dormancy. The key idea is that it needs to be cold enough so when you put the seeds out, they don't sprout immediately, but they get a chance to go through the dormant period, experience the cold, and then once spring hits, they'll be ready. You can wait on cool season veg like broccoli or lettuce, but you don't really have to because they're not going to sprout until they're ready, and the container that you're using for winter sowing is going to help protect them like a greenhouse. For tools, if you're using a gallon jug, we're going to be cutting this open, so you need a pair of scissors, a sharp knife, or a box cutter. You also will want to label your container so you can remember exactly what it was that you put inside of each of them. So grab some tape, grab a marker. You also want something that's a little bit sharp and pointed, like a screwdriver or a nail, so we can poke some drainage holes into the container. And then, because we want to secure the lid back onto the container after we sow everything, you're going to want either some duct tape that you can wrap around it, or I like to use twist ties. And that's it. No heat mats, grow lights, or special equipment. Chances are you have a lot of this stuff already lying around. Setting up the container is super easy. You just want to make sure that you wash it out with some warm soapy water first, give it a good rinse, and then you can actually toss the top or the cap. Because what you're going to do is when you set this outside, leaving the top open is going to enable melted snow or rain to come in and help to keep your soil moist. Now, if you're using a gallon jug, you need to carefully cut around the perimeter of the jug, just below the handle line. So take your time, be very, very careful, whether you're using scissors, a knife, or a box cutter. It's delicate work. Take your time. Make sure you don't hurt yourself. You're going to start on one side of the jug, again, below the handle and a little bit to the side. Put the jug on its side and then just slowly start to cut into the jug. Again, take your time. Be very, very careful. We're not in a race. And once you get to the opposite side of the handle, stop cutting. Because now what you have is a hinge. So you can actually open and close this container as needed by leaving this section of the container uncut. The next thing you want to do is add some drainage holes to the bottom of your container. So using a nail or a screwdriver, just poke a few holes in the bottom to make sure that there's good drainage. You don't have to overdo it. A few holes will do, but this is a super important step because you need to make sure that your soil has a way to drain. You don't want water to just sit in the soil. That's going to rot out the seeds. Also, if the seedlings happen to grow and the soil's too wet, it's going to strangle the roots. So you want to make sure, just like with any other pot that you're going to use, that you have drainage holes for your container. Now, if you want to skip these steps, use something like this clamshell berry container. It already has a lid attached, it already hinges, and it has little snaps that can keep it closed. There are also already drainage holes along the bottom, and there are venting holes along the top. This is actually a really great plug and play option if you don't want to mess with anything sharp, don't want to cut into plastic, don't want to have to deal with all of that. Grab some of these. These will work great. And now we're ready to sow our seeds. And this can get a little bit messy, so if you're doing this indoors, make sure you lay down some sort of protective layer like a sheet of plastic or something like this repotting mat. Add about 2 to 4 inches of pre-moistened potting soil into your container. I like to pre-moisten my soil because I find that if it's not pre-moistened, it can be a little bit hydrophobic once you water it, and it'll also settle quite a bit. And that can help to disturb the seeds, actually. So once I get my seeds sown, I don't want the soil to be all that disturbed. So I make sure that I pre-moisten my soil so that way when I water, everything just kind of sets where I put it in. And then once you have your soil in your container, you can just sow the seeds at the depth that's recommended on the back of your seed packet. For a lot of these seeds, you can actually just surface sow them because you're going to end up putting another little layer of soil on top of the seeds once you've gotten them into the container. So you actually don't really have to bury anything too much. You also don't have to worry about spacing these seeds too much. You want to overseed a little bit just for germination rate purposes, and also the fact that this is a pretty small container. So this isn't like your direct sowing outside, where your broccoli plants, as they get sown, need to be 1 plant per foot. You can't do that in a container. I'm not going to just sow 1 broccoli seed into this container. So I put a lot of broccoli seeds in here, knowing that they're going to sprout, and before they get too big, I'll be able to prick them out and transplant them into the garden. So a little bit of space goes a really long way when you're doing your winter sowing. So once your seeds are in the container, you want to just lightly press them down so they have good soil to seed contact. And if they're not surface sown seeds, like I have some that are going to be surface sown, so I'm going to do some lavender. Lavender actually needs light in order to germinate, so I'm not going to bury those, I'm going to surface sow them. But for broccoli, it needs maybe about 1/4 inch of soil in terms of depth. So now that I have my broccoli seeds in the container, I'm going to just lightly sprinkle another layer of my pre-moistened potting mix over the top of these broccoli seeds. That just hides them a little bit. I'm not burying them super deeply, and I'm not doing anything like really pushing them down into the soil. I'm just making sure that they have good contact, and then I'm also just covering them up a little bit. And then if you need to lightly water, now's the time. I'm just gonna mist the surface of my soil a little bit because remember, I pre-moistened my soil, so it doesn't need much in the way of water. And then it's time to close our container, but we wanna make sure that we can keep it closed. So remember, I said maybe grab some duct tape, or I even like to use a twist tie. Now is the time to use this. So what you'll do is you'll actually poke, just like how you poked some holes in the bottom for drainage, you're gonna poke a hole here on the top part and here on the bottom part. And then you will thread your twist tie through the holes. So just twist tie into the hole, twist tie into the bottom hole, you bring them out, you twist them together, and it closes your container perfectly. Once sealed, your mini greenhouse is planted. Now would also be a good time to add a label. So grab some tape and a marker and make sure that you mark down what it was that you put into each container. It can be really frustrating, especially if you do a lot of these, to get them outside and then when you check on them, you kind of forgot what it was that you had put in them. So as you do them, as you go along, do one, label it. Do the next and label it. After planting, the containers go outside and stay there throughout the entire winter. Anywhere that gets a decent bit of sunlight will do for placement of your containers. Just make sure that you don't put them on a porch or anything that has an overhang. You want to make sure that any precipitation that happens can actually make its way into the containers to keep your seeds and seedlings well watered. Also, you might want to think about protecting from wind. These can be a little bit light, so in heavy winds they could blow around. So if you have any empty containers, you can pop these into those pots and that'll protect them from winds. And you don't need to check them constantly. Just think of winter sowing as a set it and mostly forget it method. But if you have a long dry stretch with no precipitation, you may want to check moisture, but otherwise, nature handles the care for you. And as winter turns to early spring, that's when the magic happens. You'll start to notice some condensation inside of the container, and this is because the soil is starting to warm up. So that greenhouse effect is really happening well and working in your container. Around that same time, you'll start to notice teeny tiny little seedlings. And once your seedlings emerge, they're going to continue to grow at a fairly steady clip. When temperatures start to warm more consistently, that's when you can actually undo the tape or untie the twist tie to open up the top of your container and enable more airflow for your plants. When the seedlings are sturdy and the ground is workable, you can just transfer the seedlings directly into your garden. Remember, you don't need to harden these off. They've already acclimated to the outside conditions. So just plant them, water them in, and let them grow. Winter sowing is simple, low cost, and it works with nature instead of against it. If you've been intimidated by starting your own seeds, this is a great way to get started. And if you're an experienced seed starter, this is a great time saver and a way to extend your growing season by several weeks. Let us know in the comments if you're going to give winter sowing a shot this year. And if you found this information helpful, please like and share so it can reach other gardeners and help them out as well. Happy growing!